What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good Friday. And before I start the video, I'm going to let you guys know, in case you missed it, I did a true story video about the song Breakdown. So I did an inside look in the song, talked about who wrote it, talked about some of the lyrics, the demo, how many times it's been played live. So if you guys haven't watched it, go check it out on my channel. So let's get started with today's news. So Axl Rose may have actually overruled Slash and Duff on Guns N' Roses members' return, according to Alternative Nation. So Matt Sorum did an interview on 94.3 The Shark, which is a radio station in the U.S. He was calling in talking about Kings of Chaos, his new band he's playing with, and the topic of Guns N' Roses and the reunion came up. And he talked about, which question he's sick of hearing the most about Guns N' Roses, or being asked the most. And he said, I think I'm kind of aloof to the whole thing now. I'm numb to it. The fact that you just asked me and I can't even come up with an answer, that's a good thing. He also made an interesting statement. He also said, he also discussed moving on from playing with Duff McKagan, and that it obviously was not McKagan's decision to leave Sorum out of the Guns N' Roses reunion. Axl Rose has been reported as still being in charge of the band. As you guys know, Matt Sorum played with Duff McKagan in many bands, including Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver, Kings of Chaos. And, he's talked about how it was a change playing with the new bass player, Robert DeLeo, from formerly of Stone Temple Pilots. Now, what's interesting is Matt Sorum hasn't even really been to a Guns N' Roses reunion show. And it kind of makes me wonder, is Axl still upset at him? Because back in 2006, Matt Sorum actually bumped into Axl Rose in New York City. Matt Sorum was in Velvet Revolver at that time. Guns N' Roses was in town. I think they were playing some shows at the Hammerstein Ballroom. And, Matt and Axl just happened to be at the same bar. And then they went to a different bar and they ended up bumping into each other once again. And they talked and worked out some of the issues, or cleared the air on some of the bad blood that had been going on for quite a while. And he said, it was nice at the end of the night. Axl even drove Matt to his hotel. But then in 2007, around the time that Libertad came out by Velvet Revolver, Matt Sorum came out with a statement that said, Axl Rose is so jealous of our band. So he was talking to Rolling Stone magazine, and he said the statement, Axl Rose is so jealous of our band, Sorum told Rolling Stone, adding that his encounter with the singer at a New York party ended up being friendly. Even though he's going out with Guns N' Roses, effing bullshit, he's just effing jealous and he's trying to tear us down. He said Slash is out playing rock and roll, and he, referring to Axl, doesn't like that. It's sad. So I think these little jabs at Axl over the years has probably made Axl a little upset. And, Matt spoke to one of these magazines, I think it was Spin Magazine, who wrote an article about Axl back in 1999, 2000, about him going to Sedona, Arizona, and spending money on the psychics and that kind of stuff. And I think that pissed off Axl too. And that's why Matt was sort of labeled as, I think, an additional musician on the Live Era album. So he wasn't listed as a member of the band on the actual album, as Steven Adler was, though. So let's move on to our next piece of news. News concerning Steven Adler. So if you guys watched my video a couple days ago, you'll know that a new photo of Steven Adler surfaced. He was having lunch with his brother, and he looked really good and healthy. And now we've got another announcement concerning a new Steven Adler book. And no, it's not being written by Steven Adler himself. It's actually being written by his mother. So the actual book is called How I Lost My Son to Guns N' Roses. It's called Sweet Child of Mine by Deanna Adler, with New York Times best-selling author Lawrence J. Spagnola. So this book is available for pre-order. It's going to be available on January 24th, 2017. If you actually pre-order the book, you have a chance to win a contest, to enter to win a contest where you could win a pair of drumsticks signed by Steven Adler. The contest ends January 23rd at midnight, and winners will be notified after the book release. So it's basically about his mother's ordeals of dealing with Steven, in Guns N' Roses, and all the drugs that sort of ruined his life. And, it's when you read the forums, it looks like a lot of people are not happy that this book is being written. I think it's really in bad taste, just because, if you read Steven's childhood, I haven't read his book, but just from reading Mick Wall's book and from hearing his interview with Howard Stern, Steven got kicked out of the house at a really young age, and I'm sure that had a big effect on him and his drug use. And, a lot of people don't seem to be fans of his mother, but it seems like him and his mother are obviously on speaking terms because he's signing drumsticks to support the book. I kind of wonder what Axl thinks of this and of whether he's actually mentioned the book or not. Maybe if Axl's not too happy about it, maybe we're not going to see Steven as much on the 2017 reunion tour. That's just my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts on whether you think this book should be published and whether you're going to read it. I'll probably still read it, provided I get some good reviews. But let's move on to our next piece of news. So if you guys watched my video a couple days ago, you'll know that Guns N' Roses have been slowly teasing their 2017 tour. They had a behind-the-scenes interview with Dizzy Reed, and now they've got a second behind-the-scenes interview. This one's with Frank Ferrer, and he talks about, for about a minute, how he got into drumming. One of the first rock songs he ever listened to was Bohemian Rhapsody. And he talked about how he thought Kiss was Queen because they seemed like a band who would make a song like Bohemian Rhapsody. So I've linked to it down below. You guys can go check it out. And we've got one last piece of news for the day. So this is from the Guns N' Roses forum. This is from a guy named Blue Jean Baby. He had this interesting article in AARP magazine. So if you guys don't know what AARP is, it's basically for old people. I guess they have a magazine that talks about issues that old people deal with, and one of the issues they were talking about was smoking. If you're somebody who's smoked a lot of your life and you quit, will smoking do any permanent damage to your body? And they had a picture of Slash there actually in the article. I don't have the entire article, but this is the photo he took, and I just thought it was kind of funny about them having a picture of Slash lighting up, and considering he doesn't really smoke anymore, but he was a guy who smoked for a lot of his life and then he quit. And that basically does it for today's news, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you learned something new today, and make sure you subscribe for the latest Guns N' Roses news, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at Guns N' Roses Daily. I'll follow you back. Thanks for watching, guys, and have yourself a good weekend. Take care.